Good afternoon and salutations. My name is Calypso, aka Mint Carousel, and welcome to the stream. It's Fatal 12 again. I have completely forgotten where we left off. I think we're still in the encounter with Odette coming into Shigetsugu's and numeral 4's house, and she's fighting Alan, but I think also numeral 4 is there. I don't remember if they're... Hello! Hi, Moonfire Fox Girl! What's up? Where was I? I don't exactly remember what just happened, but we're gonna find out momentarily. Okay. Get my headphones on. Okay, cool. No, we're past the... That doesn't look like it's, Okay, they went to hiding. Okay. There's something surreal about me, numeral 4, and Alan all hiding in a room together like this. Oh, right. Okay. I wonder what Miharu knows now. I wonder what Rinka had to tell her, for that. Ooh, that conversation's gonna be interesting when we get to it. Alright. Definitely hoping we see Miharu this stream. Well, I mean, I always hope that, but... Ah, shit, we haven't seen Mao in a while. But she's not involved in the plot, thank God. But, that means we don't get to see Mao a lot, and I don't like... I want to see more Mao. The fact that Alan has agreed to it proves that I'm right. He's avoiding the police. I figured he was a monster before, but his fight with numeral... Oh no. 11 made it all the more clear. His skills have nothing to do with him being a man or his massive build. I'm willing to bet that he could take on an armed officer and win, but even he doesn't want to turn the entire police force against him. Ah. Okay.
どうにかなったわい。
Shigetsugu comes along to rescue us from the suffocating silence.
なら、もういいな。
Bye bye.
おや、これからこの子にカレーを温めてあげようと思ったところじゃが、いらんかね。
It's like...
わーい。起きたらお腹が空いてたから食べたかったんだ。
Huh.
ちょっと。
Right?
あんなことをされはしたが、わしらを助けてくれたんじゃ。
Oh, that's...
まあ、作ったのはお主じゃが、構わんじゃろ。
Huh.
あんなこと？
Oh. Oh no.
よいよい。ほれ、待っておれ。
Numeral 4 out for blood. He removes the leftovers from the fridge and pours it all into a pot before Ellen even gets the chance to answer.
クミン、カルダモン、ターメリック。悪くはないか。
Those are good spices. But those are all... Wait, actually I'm not sure about... I've had cumin and turmeric, but cardamom, actually, I don't think we have that spice around.
いただこう。
This is fun. Now it seems we're definitely setting up as Odette and Federico as the main antagonist, if this is going to I don't know. But like what I said in the last stream, Federico seems to be sort of the diametric opposition to Rinka, and I mean, not only because of everything that Federico does and everything that Rinka does, but also the fact that we only get those two perspectives. Like, that's interesting. Like, that's interesting. There has to be a reason that we get Federico's perspective at all when he's not the main character. So it's almost like, even though as far as threats go, it would the most threatening characters are, well, Alan here and Odette, and not, well, maybe to Rinka, Federico's the threat, but not to anyone else. But and I just, it makes me think about what the final confrontation is going to be. Who are the last two that's going to be? Who are the last two in Divine Selection going to be? I mean, I'm just guessing Rinka's going to make it but I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I'm just guessing. What's interesting to think about is who is going to be opposite her. Is it going to be Miharu? Is it going to be Federico? Is it going to be Alan? Odette? Numeral 4? I don't know. But anyway, well, we'll find out eventually in like... What? We're in 7 weeks? Jesus, alright. He takes a seat at the table, as expressionless as ever. As much as I want to flee right away, I am a bit too concerned now.
ってことは、12番のお兄さんは敵じゃない？
I'm making the motion with my hand where it's like, fuck, like it's parallel to the ground, but I'm like twisting it about my forearm. I'm doing that.
今はな。
That's an interesting answer.
あれ？でもお兄さんも選定の参加者なんだよね。
あ
あ。でもどうしておじいちゃんを守ったの？
守ったわけではない。偶然利害関係が一致しただけだ。
Yeah.
利害？
あ
あ。
そっか。よくわかんないけど、敵じゃないならまあいっか。それよりお姉ちゃんのカレーとっても美味しいんだよ。
そうか。
でね。
I start to panic as I listen to the painful exchange. The lack of emotion on Alan's face makes it impossible to tell when he'll explode over numeral 4 acting overly friendly.
貴様はどうしてあの老人と一緒にいる？
貴様？
君のことだ。
I'm referring to you.
おじいちゃんがね、僕を拾ってくれたんだよ。僕、記憶喪失ってやつみたいだったから。
そうか。3番の男を退かせたのも体に技術が身についていたというわけか。
Yep.
それ話しちゃっていいんだ。
I'm surprised by how readily he divulges such crucial info. Alan may not be his enemy for now, but that's no reason to go and tell him everything.
あなたは
アレンでいい。
Huh. Interesting. I wasn't sure how to address him, but he wasted no time in providing a fake name. He must be aware that I know his true name. I consider doing the same, but I'll leave it alone unless he asks.
アレンさんはこの後どうするつもりなんですか？
Wait, But the rhotic phoneme is like, or can have lateral qualities. Like Alan, and it'll sound this. Huh.
物騒な
Does
話
that
は
work
食事を
as
終
a
えてからでも
fake
よかろ
name in Japanese that they're all magically speaking? Huh. Oh, got it. So the vowel, okay. Alan versus Aren. Aren, okay. Yeah. That still sucks as a fake name, though. Like, I mean, just a little bit. Shigetsugu butts in as he brings the curry over. He only carries 2 plates since neither him nor me will be having any. Alan nods in response to that proposition. When you think about it, Alan's from India. Knowing that someone from the land of curry is about to eat my rendition of it makes me a touch nervous.
おいしい
Oh boy, oh boy.
これは
My gut sinks the moment he takes a bite. There's a huge contrast between the slow, disinterested way he eats in comparison to how numeral 4 wolfs is down. Wait, why am I nervous at all?
こんなところまで似ているとはな。
Eh? I notice he said something. My eyes meet his.
家族がかつて戯れに日本のカレールーを買ってきたことがあるだけだ。
奥さんとかですか
He glares at me in response.
僕のことを探っているのか。
Lol.
否定はしませんけど深い意味はありませんでした
そうか。もっともこれは一般に知られている情報だが、僕は未婚だ。家族というのは配偶者の意味ではない。
ごちそうさま
The tension is dispersed thanks to that outburst. I'm so glad he has no idea how to read between the lines. I never expected Alan to talk about family, though. It's pretty normal for most people, but I somehow thought he was one of those rare sorts who had no attachment to them. That aside, I'll assume he didn't think the curry tasted bad since he didn't say anything about it.
スプーンを使うのはそんなに珍しいか。
いやそんなことも思ってもなかったですけど
Thinking about it, I guess I always do imagine people from India eating curry without utensils. I guess they only do that when eating it with naan, but since he's eating Japanese curry, I don't think about it until he brings it up. God. Oh. Now I want naan. Oh my god. That look on his face as he asks, though. It's so meek, I can't help bursting out in laughter.
僕の国は日本では偏見を強く持たれているらしいな。
Who?
いやそうじゃなくって
He seems a little peeved, judging by the tone of his voice. My nerves, coupled with the fact that he always seems impossible to read, make it all the harder to hold back my laughter. He eventually brushes me off. He hands numeral 4 his plate and spoon to be taken to the sink. Not long after, Shigetsugu makes tea for all 4 of us. Shigetsugu... Oh! Fuck. I was about to say something, but then I thought it and okay. Shigetsugu really does not like people leaving. He really made sure that Rinka stayed with them as long as possible, and is kind of doing the same with Alan, which is... At first I thought it was interesting, and now I just think it's kind of really sad. Oh my god. Okay. Alan takes a whiff of the tea before switching his cup with Shigetsugu's, before taking a sip. His face contorts immediately. I can't tell if it's an issue with Shigetsugu's so-called blend or Japanese tea in general, but he's more expressive than I expect. Meanwhile, Numeral 4 is rolling his head around the table out of boredom until Alan breaks the silence.
さて、重次。僕には少し発音がしづらい名前だが、それはいい。
Shigetsugu。
僕の目的はすでに分かっているな。
わしらの情報、カードじゃろ。
ああ。最終的にはここにいる全員を脱落させるが、そう欲張りはしない。
Very funny.
意外じゃの。わしらを脅迫してでも情報を集めると思ったがの。
その少年は記憶喪失と言っていた。であれば脅したところでカードは出てこないだろう。そして君も同じだ。未だ手がかりがない。これは僕の勘ではあるが、まさか君も自分のカードを忘れているのではと思っている。
On what grounds do you base this accusation?
不確定にもかかわらず強引な手段に出れば
Wait,
長期的に見て不利になる。
Amazing how you can say that after what he pulled with Keiko. And he thinks Numeral 4 is a girl. That proves that even he makes mistakes. Shigetsugu said that Alan's actions seemed desperate. I feel like that applies even more with what he did to Keiko. However, I'm surprised that not knowing the contents of my own cards could work out for me like this. As for Alan's comment, Numeral 4 is the first to respond.
勝手なこと言わないでよ。それはおじいちゃんが脱落するってことじゃないか。そんなことさせないよ。この人は今から敵。
落ち着くんじゃ。わしが嫌じゃと言ったらどうするつもりじゃ。
予想はついているだろう。ここまで来た以上、ただ引き返すことはできない。
やっぱり僕がこの人を。
Out for blood.
わしはお主らが傷つくのを見たくはない。それにアレンと言ったか。お主はまずそこの娘を狙うじゃろ。
No.
でしょうね。
Goodness, okay. I'm ready to make my escape whenever necessary, but I doubt I could even reach the hall safely should Alan target me for real. I could negotiate with him thanks to the info I have on Shigetsugu, but right now I'd much rather maintain the status quo.
わしの情報を教えよう。ただし条件がある。
聞かせろ。
わしが脱落するまでの間、この家を守ってほしいということじゃ。11の女性はわしの家を狙うじゃろうからの。
That still aligns with Alan's interests. But, we don't want Odette and Federico to get any information, and Alan doesn't want that either. Don't see a problem with this, except for the fact that he's resigned to that he's gonna get eliminated. And that's not gonna bode well for Numeral 4. Numeral 4 is not gonna like that, but yeah.
わしやこの子が傷つかんよう守ってほしいんじゃ。
僕があの女から貴様らを守ったとして、
what other
もう
issue?
一つ懸念があるのはわかるな。
He casts his gaze over to me.
わかりました。アレンさんが牛塚さんの条件を飲むなら、私は牛塚さんの指名を行いません。
Okay, that's the problem. Yeah, okay, I get it. Alright. But how does he know he can trust her?
ちょっと待ってよ。いらないよ。あの人が来ても
Oh, yeah, here we go.
僕がおじいちゃんを守るよ。
The kid's visibly flustered, but it's Alan who opts to respond.
まだわからないのか。
何が？
重次は君を傷つけたくないと言っているんだ。
僕を？
Yeah.
あなたにもわかるんですね。家族がいるからですか？
その質問には答えない。
Yeah.
そうなの？おじいちゃん。
当然じゃ。お前は強いかもしれん。じゃが わしはお前が怪我をするところは見たくない。
でも僕が勝てれば。
思い上がらない方がいい。僕が君と本気で戦うとなれば手加減はしない。
無傷で済むとはわしには思えん。
It's clear that Shigetsugu sees him as family. There's a direct parallel to what he's saying now in Keiko's actions when Alan took her son hostage. Alan's face is as expressionless as ever, so I can't tell if he created the situation on purpose or if it's a mere coincidence. Oh, that's an interesting thought. I don't... Okay, no. Alan knew that Odette and Federico were staking out Shigetsugu and Four's house. So he knew that possibly they would come around by... I don't know, this seems too convoluted. I think it might be a coincidence.
おじいちゃん、僕がおじいちゃんの敵をやっつけるから喜んでくれると思ったのに、おじいちゃんがこの人たちのカードを集めれば守れるんじゃないの？
同じことじゃ。彼らから情報を引き出すのは容易ではない。
悪いが家族ごっこは後でやってくれ。一つ目の条件は飲もう。ただし選定の日までどこかの部屋を提供してもらう。
Alright, he said first condition. I suspect he's probably going to still have a problem with Rinka. Like I said before, I don't know how he can trust her just on her word. He clarifies his reasoning after seeing Shigetsugu's surprise.
僕としてもこの国で自由に動けない。数日でも滞在先ができるのは悪い条件ではない。
いいじゃろ。ただし二つ目の条件も飲んでこそじゃぞ。
Unless the second condition is something we haven't heard yet.
分かっている。
Or always is. Okay, I don't know.
いい。
Huh. Numo Force stands up mid-conversation, almost in a deliberate attempt to interrupt them.
もういいよ。
Oh no.
ちょっと。
He leaves the room immediately. Alan doesn't seem phased, but the same can't be said about Shigetsugu.
すまんが少し待っていてくれ。
Oh. Oh no. There's no reason to worry about his safety on the streets at night, but it's entirely possible he could start something with the police if they approach him. Leaving Alan here by himself is too risky, though. It's pretty scary to sit here all alone with him, but I stay behind regardless.
やれやれだ。
あなたのこと勘違いしていました。もっと常識がない人だと。
そうか。
Perhaps buying time through conversation isn't my best idea since I'm no good at it, but, and he makes it a point to say as little as possible. 10 minutes pass and not a single word is exchanged. Alan sits, silent. The only action of note is when he blinks. I thought I'd be okay, but it's starting to get to me.
リンカ、君は
Oh.
はい。
He is so abrupt that I struggle not to jump out of my skin.
生きたいのか。君の行動は生きたい人間の行動には見えない。
I can't say he's wrong. I never even stopped going to school after divine selection began. Not like he knows that. He's likely basing his claim off the way I've involved myself with the participants. In all honesty, I'm not even sure how I ended up in the situation myself. what I do know is that it's all been due to my own judgment. As often as I've questioned how much my life is worth, I've never once resigned to the idea that I'm fine with being eliminated. When I put all that together, it's easy to answer this question.
私は生きたいです。あなたには非効率的に見えるかもしれないですけれど、これが私の生き方なんです。きっと。
These may be extraordinary circumstances, but I'm not built to adapt to them. Average is all I know. I'm easily influenced and prone to sticking my nose into what I shouldn't. That's me. That's what defines Shishima Rinka.
愚問だったようだ。病院で君の瞳を見たとき、僕はとっくにそのことに気づいていた。
Going back to the hospital. Maybe it is my imagination, but I think I see him throw a faint smile as he says that.
リンカの生き方がどこまで通用するのか、見させてもらおう。どちらにせよ、君自身が忘れているなら、問い詰めても君の情報は引き出せなさそうだ。
Yep.
どこでそれを？
君は選定のルールを忘れていたな。自身のカードを忘れていても不思議ではない。死因や未練を自覚していないからこそ身をさらして行動できるのだろう。
Oh right, he knows she forgot the rules of divine selection. Okay, that makes sense. Well, it actually doesn't follow that she also forgot the contents of her cards, but there is a link there, and you can make that judgment. And knowing that your cards of death or regret makes it easier for you to act the way you do. Okay. Yes, I can see it. I think I can see where he's coming from. But there's quite a bit of conclusion leaping going on. I don't know.
もっとも、それはあの少年も同じではあるな。ああいった手合いは他の参加者を脱落させてカードを得るほかないだろう。
It really was obvious that I'd forgotten everything about divine selection during my first visit to the Court of Fate. Especially after my discussion with Miharu and needing Parker to explain things over to me from scratch. Had he taken the possibility that I forgot my own cards into consideration ever since?
アランさんはあの子の情報を得るために牛塚さんの条件を飲んだんですか？
その意図はなかったな。
God damn it!
だがなるほど。ここにいれば何か手がかりが得られるのだな。
LMAO! LMAO, Rinka!
あの無防備な少年だ。何かの拍子に話してもおかしくはない。
Come on.
記憶喪失というが、例えば夢というのは深層心理が呼び起こされる場合もあるから。
I can't believe
寝言などか。さすがにそれは都合が良すぎるか。しかし、なるほど。君の言う通りだな。
It literally already happened. That's so funny. Cutting the conversation off here seems wise. So I fucked up. The last thing I want is for him to somehow extract information about Miharu from me. She set it up so everyone thinks we had a falling out. But at this rate, I might end up spilling the beans on that and more. Setting that aside, I'm surprised he agreed to Shigetsugu's terms so quick. Assuming what he said is true, then it isn't just because he sees value in doing so. It isn't just because... Okay. There's more to it. He let his emotions take the wheel, from what I can tell. Not like I'll ever say that to his face.
ようやく戻るか。足音が聞こえた。玄関まで行ってやればいい。心配するな。僕はここでじっとしている。
Oh, damn it. He's right. I hear noises coming from the entrance. Make my way over to welcome them back. 5 or so minutes after he began his search, Shigetsugu found the person he was looking for on his way back home.
ここにおったか、ユウ。
どこかへ行こうとしたけど、僕は記憶がないから、他に行く場所なんてなかった。
We have a name. Shigetsugu referred to Numa for as you. that wasn't his real name. It was the name Shigetsugu gave the boy upon their first encounter.
おじいちゃんは僕のこと嫌いになったの？
そんなわけなかろ
ならどうしておじいちゃんが脱落死んじゃうようなことを言うの？おじいちゃんが死んだら僕は一人になっちゃう。本当の家族じゃないから。
Oh,
本
opposite.
当の家族が無条件に一緒にいるとも限らんよ。
Come on. He cast a solemn gaze up to the night sky as he spoke. Having lost his wife far too soon, Shigetsugu spent his days battling loneliness. Meanwhile, his son got married soon after graduating college and getting hired into a financing company. Shigetsugu got along with his daughter-in-law at first, but things changed when she became pregnant. Perhaps it was more accurate to say that Shigetsugu changed. Knowing a baby was on the way, both made the decision to move out. Shigetsugu's son was gradually moving up the corporate ladder, so it felt like the right time to go. And that was when Shigetsugu's battle with loneliness reached its zenith. The stress it caused him led to outbursts of violence. His attitude took a drastic turn, and he became stubborn over the most minor of things. He would complain about his daughter-in-law's cooking for no reason. His actions eventually led to their hastened departure from Shigetsugu's home. The loneliness and self-hatred that followed changed him even more. They did get back in touch years later, but nothing ever came of it. Shigetsugu's issues eventually led him to gambling, which he uses as a means to distract himself. This in turn led him to racking up more and more debt to the point that it almost affected his son's family. It was then that they cut all ties with them. Years later, he visited their home, only to find no one was living there. They had just up and vanished. Perhaps they thought the exact same about Shigetsugu, considering how little contact he made with the outside world.
そうだったね。おじいちゃんが話してくれた。
悪いのはわしじゃ。じゃが、お主はそれを知ってもわしと一緒にいてくれた。他に行く場所がないからなどという利害関係だけでないことはよくわかっておる。
利害？よくわからないけど。うん。僕はおじいちゃんが好きだから一緒にいたんだ。お馬さんを見たり、ボートも見たりした。何より一人ぼっちの僕を助けてくれた。記憶がない不安よりもこの家にいられる安心の方が大きいよ。
Over a month has passed since the event selection began. Both Shigetsugu and you have spent the majority of that time together. To others, their relationship may be fundamentally flawed. To Shigetsugu, however, their relationship was that of a true family.
ゆう、わしはお前を家族だと思っておる。
僕もそうだよ。おじいちゃんは僕の唯一の家族だ。
There was no preface to a statement. For you, the present took precedence over his lost memories. His words were proof of that.
じゃが、わしは死ぬ。お前たち若い連中は運命のいたずらのようなもので本来の寿命よりも随分早くに命を落としてしまったんじゃろうが、わしは違う。
Yeah.
あの日、腰を痛めなかったとしても、もう追い先は長くなかったんじゃ。わしの願いは、できるだけ長くお前と過ごすことじゃった。ささやかな願いじゃった。だからこそ必死に生きようとする者たちに拒まれたんじゃ。
I missed something.
わしの願いは できるだけ長くささやかな願いじゃった。
わからないよ。難しくって。僕にはおじいちゃんが言っていることがわからない。
ユウ、これからの生き方はお前が決めるんじゃ。
僕が？
ああ、生きたいと思うんじゃったら選定を勝ち残るんじゃ。思わない、そう思えないんじゃったらわしは止めはせん。
決められないよ。僕はそんなもの。
決めねばならんのじゃ。わしは数日後にはもう死んだことになっているんじゃからな。
嫌だ、嫌だよ、おじいちゃん。
Yu was growing more upset as the conversation carried on. Shigetsugu, on the other hand, remained as calm as ever.
お前にユウという名前を与えたのはわしの過ちじゃったかもしれん。記憶喪失じゃからか知らんが、まさかその名前でカードが作られるとは思わんかった。お前は自身のカードを忘れていることが強みじゃったが、それを一つ奪ってしまったからの。
そんなことない。おじいちゃんが名前をつけてくれて僕は嬉しかった。だって自分の名前もわからなかったんだもん。
Wait, I wonder if Rinka is hearing this.
それは嬉しいわい。ならばわしの
Seems to be
願いは
outside
一
though.
つじゃ。
I'm gonna guess not. Okay.
無理に生きろなどとは言わん。ただ誰かに何かを与える喜びだけは知ってほしいんじゃ。
Much like how he had given you his name. Not only a name, but also a place to call home.
わしもユウに大切なものをもらって死ねる。
僕がおじいちゃんに何かをあげた？
そうじゃ。
ダメだ。やっぱり僕にはわからないよ。何もわからない。
じゃったら徐々にわかるようになればいいんじゃ。その時にはその喜びもちゃんと理解できるじゃろ。
Shigetsugu rested a hand on Yu's head before patting it. His words and actions were cheerful despite the context of their conversation. Meanwhile, Yu was unable to find his answer. He had not accepted his reality. At the same time, that state of mind made him all the more susceptible to what Shigetsugu had to say. So eventually, he came to understand what was about to transpire. Ishitsuka Shigetsugu was going to die, and there was absolutely nothing he could do about it. I happened to overhear the conversation. Got it, so you did, okay. I don't intend to, but that's no excuse. I don't catch the entire thing, but one important detail doesn't slip by me. You. The moment Shigetsugu called numeral for that, my book began to glow. The resulting card contains nothing but those two letters. I'm glad Alan wasn't nearby when it happened. Things will only get more complicated if any of them learn that I now know his name. I repeat the name to myself. I figured that Shigetsugu had given him a name, but I never expected that name to be the one on his card. This would have been far more difficult to believe if I hadn't had that conversation with Miharu about one's perception of one's name. What did Shigetsugu have in mind when giving him that name, though? Surely there's some meaning behind it. Oh. Oh. Hey, Moonfire Fox Girl. What does you mean? I only ask because you've said other characters' names and what their kanji mean. Was wondering if you knew. Okay. Doesn't matter. I've somehow ended up with all 3 of these cards. Ah, katakana. Okay, that's alright. Let's see. Oh yeah, you had fire. Okay, yeah, you don't know that it was a bomb that caused the fire. You know fire. Okay, right. That's... Oh wait, hold on. I forgot that you had use death card. Shit. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I'll just wait for that meaning. Yeah, yeah, of course. But I don't have it in me to elect either of them now. If Alan elects Shigetsugu, logic dictates that I elect you. I try my best to— Oh! Do it! Oh my god! I desperately need this to happen. It's gonna fuck Rinka up so much. I want to see it. I feel evil, but I want to see it. Okay, I try my best to convince myself that that's what I need to do, but it's not that easy. God, this is gonna destroy her. Please let it happen. This is gonna be so much fight. Okay. We make our way back to the living room after I meet them at the entrance. Another conversation starts up once we have all gathered, but it dies up pretty fast.
すまんの、待たせてしまった。
Oh wait, what? Hey, what happened?
構わない。僕からは特に話すことはない。僕のために部屋を用意すればそれでいい。
I was tabbing out to check OBS when the dialogue changed to this one, and then it didn't. The voice line didn't go. I wonder if I tried to tab out, but I hit the wrong buttons, and I feel like I hit something that stopped the voice line from going, which is interesting. Okay.
分かっておる。
Okay. You still isn't happy about the scenario, but regardless, the conversation is over. Knowing that, I decide to make my way back home, albeit far later than planned.
君も11番の女に狙われるかもしれない。
Yeah?
はい。
Yeah?
もっとも、あの女は僕の方を狙ってくるだろうな。ああいうタイプは決着をつける方を優先する。
That is some decent, well-meaning advice. Thank you, Alan.
それはこっちの少年が狙われる可能性もあるということではあるが、僕がいる限り心配はしなくていい。
Yeah, but that would be...
約束は守る。
Okay, that would be you, but you're here protecting them, so, that's probably fine. I am so stunned by his apparent concern for me that I struggle to find a way to respond. What is with this guy? First he threatens to kill a baby without hesitation, then he agrees to Shigetsugu's terms that don't entirely benefit him. Top it all off, now he's worrying about my safety.
バイバイ、お姉ちゃん。ご飯、とっても美味しかった。忘れないよ。
Alright, don't fuck up and say their name, Rinka.
うん、ありがとう。まだちょっと残ってるから、お腹が空いたら食べてね。
うん。さて、わしが見送ろう。
Okay, Shigetsugu, you have ulterior. Come on, you have an ulterior. Come on. Are you gonna say something? Are you gonna say something interesting? We then make our way out of the living room.
そんな玄関まででよかったのに。
Oh, he has something to say. Shigetsugu follows me outside rather than seeing me off at the entrance. It's uncommon for us to be alone together, so I take this chance to clear my doubts.
牛塚さんが脱落したら、
You have something to.
ゆうくんはどこで暮らすつもりだったんですか？
you have something to say.
盗み聞きとは趣味が良くないの。
わざとです。あなたがつけた名前。
Oh, did you say?
盗み
Yeah, you said you. Okay, made sure to.
盗み
The
聞
naughty
きと
habit
は
is
趣味が
eavesdropping.
良く
Got
ない。
it. Okay.
わざとです。あなたがつけた名前なんですよね。
そうじゃ。あの子は優しいけれど勇気もある子じゃ。勇という響きは日本人らしくもあり、外国人らしくもあるじゃろ。勇、勇、勇、勇。まさか本当の名前としてカードが作られるとは思わなかったがの。
私の推測ではありますが、カードの情報は本人の認知が大きく関わっているみたいです。
Right. Right, yeah.
なるほどの。で、ユウのその後じゃったの。ユウ、そう、ユウ。
Oh, the question was back there. It was what is his plans for you after he's eliminated? Okay. I nod my head, urging him to continue.
現金で100万ほど用意してある。
Huh. My first reaction is to look around after recovering from my own shock. I'm worried about any lurking burglars overhearing him, but I guess anyone sneaking into that house isn't far more dangerous than those already inside.
選定が終わるまでの約2ヶ月であれば、その金でなんとかなるじゃろ。
Yeah.
あの子が選定の後どうするかはわしが関われることではないじゃろ。じゃが、贅沢をしなければ記憶が戻った時帰国するくらいの金は残っているはずじゃ。
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe he probably doesn't should return home. Yeah.
そんなにお金を。
Oh, I believe he won it on the battlefield?
選定が始まってから、わしが家にある現金をかき集めて、売れるものはすべて売り、まあ、いろいろして集めた金じゃ。
Mentioned before that his pension and benefits were his only sources of income right now. He talked about being in debt as well, so I could only assume he went through some shady dealings to gather up that amount. Knowing he did it all for you's sake made it hard to judge him for it, though.
貯金なんぞ全部使い切ったし、口座も凍結しておったからの。苦労したわい。後のことを構わず家探しをしたんじゃが、片付ける気にもならんでの。家は散らかっていたじゃろ。
道理で。
What are you about to say? It might be the truth, but it's still rude for me to say such a thing out loud.
道理で。
I missed this line, but it's okay.
構わん構わん。というわけじゃ。お主が心配することなど何もありゃせんよ。
He lets out a heartfelt laugh. I can't find the humor in it though, so I just nod.
じゃあの、また夢の世界とやらであったらよろしく頼むぞ。
はい。いろいろとお世話になりました。
世話になったのはこちらじゃよ。
He shuffles back into his house. That's how it should be. Things are looking good for me right now. Even so, I make my way home with a knot in my heart. Ooh. I am not going to risk that this next scene is going to be incredibly long, so I'm going to and go put me over an hour, so I'm going to break here. So if you're watching on Twitch, well, okay. The stream is going to stop and resume momentarily. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the end of the video, and I thank you for watching. And other stuff like I hope you enjoyed is also a thing that I would like to say, and yeah, so for the first half of the stream, our first program, this has been Fatal 12. I've been Calypso, aka Carousel, and oh, maybe I should say thank you for watching here. This is a I'm not gonna have to do the breaking for the breaking the stream for much longer, but still want to have some sort of semblance of, like, I say something and it's very clear about what's going to happen, and having a special outro for the halfway mark of the stream is a good way of doing that, but I can't seem to get it right. Oh, well, this is one reason why I want to stop doing this. Okay, anyway, stream's going to stop and restart momentarily. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.